Hi, my name is Dr. Lori Pash, and I am here to give you a step-by-step guide to help you as you work your way through ELT Task 1. This task is asking you to create a lesson plan for expository writing in your classroom using the process approach to writing. You are going to design an original lesson plan that teaches students how to use the process approach to writing in order to complete an expository writing. When you use the process approach to writing in this lesson plan, you need to move through all 5 steps of the writing process in each phase of the lesson. So for example, in the I do phase of the lesson, you are going to explain the 5 steps of the writing process. You can assume that the students know the process approach to writing, but you are going to be reviewing it with the students. After you review the 5 steps in the I do phase, you'll want to explain what expository writing does. Expository writing defines, describes, and explains. It does not contain opinion. It does not contain the first person. It is not persuasive. It is strictly things like a recipe or writing that contains, first, second, third, directions. Those kinds of things are expository writing. So after you review expository writing and the 5 steps in the I do phase of your lesson, you move into the we do phase of the lesson. In the we do phase of the lesson, you need to explain how you're going to be writing with the students. It needs to be obvious that you are writing with the kids. So you are moving through all 5 steps of the writing process to compose an expository paragraph with your students. So I recommend, since you need to include an original example of an expository essay, here would be a good chance to do that in this particular phase of the lesson. So after you've explained the process approach and expository writing in the I do phase, you've written a paragraph with the students as you move through all 5 steps of the writing process approach to writing in the we do phase. Now, for the you do phase, you are ready to set the students free on their own to write themselves and to compose an expository paragraph. One thing I do want to remind you of, when you write your objective, make sure your objective matches your assessment. For example, in writing, we usually use a rubric to grade the writing. So you might say something in your objective, the students will be expected to score 10 out of 12 on a rubric, for example. Then your assessment needs to be a 12-point rubric that the students could score 10 on. Make sure those two things match. If you're unsure of where to get a rubric, please look up the website Rubistar. It's Rubistar. That website houses a lot of different rubrics for teachers where you can go and get one. You can use a rubric from that site. Just make sure you cite it in your lesson plan that that's where you obtained it. So when you design your lesson plan, I mentioned that you need to include an example of an expository paragraph. This needs to be an expository paragraph you create yourself. You cannot go and copy paste one off the internet. You can do this in 2 different places where it would make sense. You could do it in the I do phase of the lesson where you're saying this is expository writing. This is an example of expository writing. Or you can do it in the we do phase of the lesson when you're writing with the students. Either place is completely appropriate. In your lesson plan, you need to include an activity from the National Writing Project website. Here is the link. When you go to that, you will see 30 different things that you can choose from. Fit one into your lesson plan, and you can add an explanation on a separate Word document or at the end of your lesson plan. It doesn't matter where you put it, but you need to explain why you selected that activity, which specific step of the process approach to writing it fits into, and how your lesson plan gets the kids excited and interested in writing. So that's all, folks. You still have questions? Please contact one of us. I am Dr. Lori Pash, and I am one of the course mentors for ELT, of course. And Kay Vanderberg is the other course mentor for ELT, and she would be delighted to help you as you work your way through the course as well. Please feel free to contact us at any time. I hope you found this presentation helpful. Thanks for listening.